Hey Keith, so recently in Israel I heard there's some Hebrew and Hebrew hate crime. What's going on?
Well, the Bible talks about the fact that during the end times there's going to be a sorting. There's going to be the wheat and the chaff, the weeds that look just like wheat. They'll be separated, and we see that in the society today. People are tired of fake. They're tired of being lied to, and the Israelites, the people of Israel, have identified the black Hebrew nationalist who claim to be the real descendants of Jacob and the real nation of Israel, and they are expelling them. They're saying, you're out of here. We're tired of the fakeness. We're tired of you guys claiming to be something that you're not. And more importantly, they're not good neighbors. They don't serve God. They don't look after their neighbor. They're not the type of people you want to be around because they're very haughty and prideful, and they look down their noses at everybody else and say, oh, you guys are fake Jews. You guys are fake Jews. All the white people are the oppressors, and we're the special people, and they're using their skin color against everybody else. And the nation of Israel has said, okay, the jig is up. We know you're not who you say you are. We know the person who started your group was not Jewish, and that you're claiming to be something, and you're not. It's not found in the Old Testament. The Tanakh does not contain information that they use that claims they're the sons of Israel. And so they're being expelled. They're being given their marching orders, and they're saying, you can't live in Israel, and we're not going to put up with your phoniness anymore. So if you follow after the Hebrew national stuff and you claim to be a black Hebrew Israelite, people are going to call you out on that, because that is not what the Bible says. The promises that were made to Abraham for the children of Israel and their slavery did not start in 1619. It started 30 years after Abraham received his promise, when Ishmael started persecuting Isaac as a small child. And we can document that in the Bible. That period of 430 years that God talks about, that ended on the day the Israelites left bondage, it has all been fulfilled. The people who were brought to America and were enslaved on the North American continent are not the Israelites, and that 400 years that ended in 2019 is not what the Bible is talking about. That is Satan and deception in their belief system. Now, are most of the people in the Bible dark-skinned? Yes. Moses, they were all Asian complexion. They would be considered an Arab today, what you would consider to be a Middle Eastern. They would not black like Ethiopian black people, but they weren't white. But just because you're not white doesn't mean you can claim a status that God says you don't deserve. So.
And I don't see why people, especially I dislike when Christians want to say that they want to move up there. When you read the Bible, you see that people flee from Israel. So why would you want to put yourself in that position, don't you think?
Because they don't know the Bible. They think that Jerusalem is the apple of God's eye, and that if they can get there, they'll be safe. But the Bible clearly tells us punishment is coming. They will be held accountable. The wicked will be destroyed. And most of the people who live there are not sons of Israel, okay? The black Hebrew Israelites, get that part right. The people who claim to be the descendants that are in line for inheritance, they're fake too. They're coming from all around the world saying, I'm a Jewish person and I deserve to have a land grant. And God says that He will be the one that decides who gets property. He's the one who decides who gets the inheritance when Jesus comes back. But everybody that's over there is not Hebrew, and they're not related to Judah or Israel, or they're not in line for anything. But everybody wants to be Hebrew because they think that's where the blessings are coming, and they think that's where the authority is going to be, and they want to get first in line for all the good stuff. But God says He knows who is part of His family and who is not. And you're not going to want to be in Israel. I would not encourage anybody to go to Israel just because they think it's going to be fun. That's going to be the epicenter of the next Holocaust, and whoever is there is going to hate being there.